everyone, I'm here with a 2020 Audi A4. This is the B9 generation of the Audi A4, and this is a premium Quattro trim. And today I just want to go over, why I bought this car and the top 5 best things about this Audi A4. So probably the best thing in my opinion, and one of the main reasons why I bought this vehicle, is just the combination of drivetrain performance along with fuel economy. This has a 2-liter turbocharged intercooled 4-cylinder engine with 248 horsepower. It used to be 252 horsepower prior to the 2020 model year, and it's been bumped up to a little over 260 horsepower for the 2021 model year. This model gets an EPA estimated 27 miles per gallon with 32 miles per gallon highway and 24 miles per gallon in the city, even with Quattro all-wheel drive. I routinely get 29 to 30 miles per gallon in mixed driving, which is about, I would say, 50% highway, 50% city, so 30 miles per gallon or so. So overall, just the performance in terms of acceleration and gas mileage combined for the footprint of this vehicle, and 0 to 60 in just over 5 seconds, is really impressive for me. It's a little bit better than the Alfa Romeo Giulia, not quite as good as the BMW 3 Series, which does 0 to 60 in just over 5 seconds with the 330i trim and xDrive. And that car gets probably about 1 to 2 mpg better than this. But for the money, this is just amazing drivetrain performance. So the second best thing about the Audi A4 B9 generation is just the overall value when you compare it to its European rivals, including the BMW 3 Series and the Mercedes-Benz E-Class, and to a lesser extent the Alfa Romeo Giulia and the Volvo S60. Those are the main competitors in the European segment that this car competes with. Jaguar XE would be another one, but the value that this car provides with standard Quattro all-wheel drive for 2021 and newer, in addition to standard blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, forward collision warning, LED headlights, LED tail lights, heated front seats, heated steering wheel, front and rear pre-tensioners, 8 different standard airbags in this. Actually, it might be 10. You just get tons of standard equipment for the money, and this car at 187.5 inches long is about the second largest in the segment, next to the Audi or the Infiniti Q50 and the BMW 3 Series, which are just a hair longer than this and a hair roomier. But for about the mid $40,000 range, for a Quattro premium all-wheel drive after tax or I should say after destination fee for 2021 and newer, you're looking at just an amazing value for what you're getting here. And you get probably $1,000 to $2,000 in incentives that will happen on a regular basis with Audi dealers. So I would just highly recommend this vehicle in terms of the value quotient. The third best thing about the Audi A4 B9 generation has got to be its refinement. Just the overall quietness, smooth ride, and powertrain smoothness, even from the dual clutch automatic transmission, which is a 7-speed DCT, or as Audi calls it, S-tronic, is just excellent in terms of smoothness. The engine is probably one of the most refined 4-cylinders that you can get in the business, next to probably the Mercedes-Benz C-Class would be about the same, maybe just a hair worse than this in terms of overall refinement. But it's just amazing the amount of refinement that this car has. It's super quiet on the highway, and if you get the Prestige trim, you get dual pane front glass. All cars, all Audi A4 trims have the acoustic laminated front windshield, but if you step up to the Prestige model, you get the acoustic laminated front side glass. And when you get to that trim level, this car rivals the Mercedes E-Class and S-Class in terms of quietness, according to Car and Driver. So in terms of quietness, this car is just phenomenal. The fourth best thing about the Audi A4 has got to be its technology and its overall futuristic design. As a 2020 model, this is still staying very fresh, even though it was introduced for 2016 in the European market and 2017 in other markets, including North America. It just has very crisp lines, and for 2020 it was updated with slightly different styling in terms of the front bumper here, the front grille, headlights. The taillights are a little different, as well as the rear bumper, and to a lesser extent, actually, this character line that extends from the front headlight all the way to the back of the vehicle was actually cut off on the front doors and recontinued at the rear doors for the 2020 model year, which resulted in a little bit of the sheet metal changing as well. And in this glacier white metallic, this is probably one of Audi's kind of like more commercialized or marketed colors, just because it has a pop to it without being too bright or too flashy like you might find in an Italian sports sedan like the Alfa Romeo Giulia. This still provides a futuristic feel, and if we step inside the vehicle, we can also see that futuristic and modern look also extends into there. So taking a quick look inside and closing the door, very solid thunk. I'll try to get you guys out of the sun here, but it has just an excellent 10.25 inch LCD display. That's actually a QLED display, which is a little bit higher quality than a normal LED. This car does not have the standard Audi cockpit infotainment system in the dash, which would show your maps, your cluster, your tachometer, speedometer, and all that. But the Premium Plus and higher trims do have that. I would say that this car has just an excellent blend of futuristic design and performance for what you're getting. And I'm just very happy with it overall in terms of how well it's aged over the last couple years of this design. And it's just kept it very fresh and modern, even with newer competitors that have been on the block. And even the door panels themselves feel very solid, very futuristic, and the interior ambient lighting that's standard on these with the Quattro models, and that's pretty much standard for 2021 and newer on all models, just adds to that futuristic feel and overall look of it. So I'm very, very happy with that, and it's the fourth reason why I bought this vehicle and the fourth best thing about this Audi A4. The fifth best thing about the Audi A4, especially the B9 generation, is that Audi and parent group VW Auto Group spent a lot of time standardizing the equipment underneath the skin in terms of the components, the gadgetry, and the technology in order to make it much easier to service than its previous generation B8, B7 generation of the Audi A4. So it makes it a little bit less expensive to service. You can service all the routine maintenance items for the most part at VW dealers instead of Audi dealers. So instead of that $140 an hour labor, you can get it down to $90 to $100 an hour labor charge for some of those maintenance items if you choose to go to a dealer rather than a third-party mechanic. So in general, it's a little bit less expensive to service versus especially Volvo, Mercedes, and BMW. You can go to these are very well built vehicles made in Germany, but VW has a very good design and engineering philosophy when it comes to standardizing as much components under the skin as possible to make it easy to service, to bring component piece costs down, and to make service much more easy in terms of assembly and service for technicians at dealers. So it should lower your labor costs, I should say, as well as your component costs in order to buy it. It would still be more expensive to service this than Infiniti, an Acura, or a Lexus for the most part. But when it comes to its German rivals especially, this is a cheaper vehicle, less expensive vehicle to service over time. And that's the fifth reason why I bought this over the other European competitors. So those are 5 reasons why I bought the Audi A4 and the 5 best things about this generation of the Audi A4. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, subscribe, like this video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section below. If you have any additional best things that you like about the Audi A4, put them out down there in the comments as well, and I'll see you guys next time.